Hey everybody, thank you for partaking in the Lofax podcast. I thought about a lot of stuff, but I think I will let my esteemed colleague go nuts on something that's probably near and dear to his heart right now.
Yay!
That's the whole cancel culture type deal, or canceling of others.
Oh.
That's something that you want to wax philosophically on, isn't it?
I just think it's a very destructive.
Or not? Do you want to talk about something else? Is that
No? Let's talk about cancel culture, because the whole idea of cancel culture is that the people that are doing the canceling, I guess, they must be perfect people.
Well, no, they're going to get canceled next week, so I don't know why it's so.
But they think that they're beyond reproach, all the people wanting to do the cancelling, and they look down on whoever it is, historical figure, comedian.
Well, they're really bad Marxists then.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because the whole canceling thing, I mean, that's basically a Marxist thing. Or it has been used. I don't know if Karl Marx wrote about it.
But maybe they haven't studied Marxism, these kids.
So?
Maybe they should.
Does that mean if they get hit by a car, they should not die?
What, because they haven't... Because they're not...
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they should probably... They should probably read some... There's some history.
Well, they should investigate and find out what happens to various utopian societies that have claimed to have been the workers' paradise.
Yes.
And see...
Are we going to tell everybody what happens? Or do you think they already know?
I don't think they really care.
They don't care that everybody dies?
No, because they don't think that's what they're in for.
Because they think it's going to be this...
I don't know, dude. You're asking questions that should be rhetorical because you're asking me.
Yeah.
I have no earthly idea what these kids think.
I mean, I'm sick and tired of the cancel culture, because every day it's a new thing being cancelled. Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben's rice. But they haven't cancelled... I mean, there's a lot of things that are one consider to be much more abhorrent that aren't getting cancelled, like Margaret Sanger, for example.
Well, sure, but she's probably in the good. And
Planned Parenthood hasn't been cancelled.
Well, that's because people are stupid. Well, actually, no, stupid is not the right word. That's because people are... I don't know if hypocrite is the right word.
Liars.
Well,
they're definitely liars.
I mean, I think, double standard is another thing, but basically, yeah, I mean, if you're going to take, sorry. No, you can complete my thought.
I can't.
Well, too bad.
I interrupted you.
I don't care.
If you're going to take a historical figure and choose one thing about that historical figure and say, I'm going to judge that figure by virtue of the one bad thing that they did, against everything they achieved, you'll never find anybody.
You're taking too much at face value, though.
What?
I don't think that's what they're doing.
What? Taking one thing?
Yeah, they don't really care. They're just seeing how they're basically being children or horses or dogs or whatever. It's essentially trying to see how far that one can go before they get told to stop.
The answer seems to be a long way, because nobody's telling them to stop.
That's our problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the folks not telling them to stop.
Maybe they're afraid of them, though.
I doubt it.
I don't know. Some of them seem pretty violent.
Sure, but
the mob,
Yeah, but so what?
People are afraid of being identified and targeted.
Targeted for what? Execution?
Well, targeted for a bunch of people fucking sitting outside your house and a bunch of people haranguing you and harassing you and making your life difficult, getting you fired or whatever.
Again, that's all child's play. That's all seeing how far I can go to get my way.
Mm-hmm.
There's a real easy way to stop that.
Is it violent?
No, it's you stop that. Dude, violence as a solution is not a very good solution, like I told you, and I'll tell you why. And this is going to be a little bit disturbing. The only way that violence works is if you make it a 100% solution.
Okay, you're going to have to explain what 100% solution means.
Kill everybody. If I slap
what? Are you like?
if I slap
are you trying to sound like a weirdo tonight?
No, if I slap you, are you not going to slap me back?
Yes, of course.
So how do I prevent
Unless
you?
I think you're going to beat the shit out of me.
How do I prevent you from doing that?
From me slapping you back?
Yeah.
You like block it, or you kill me.
Okay, so let's say I kill you. Well, how do I prevent someone from retaliating for that? You got to kill them too, right?
Yeah.
Well, that just kind of keeps going.
Yeah, but like
the only
100%. I mean,
the only logical way to do that, to be safe, is to kill everybody. That's not something that I'm in for. That's not something that number one is very likely, and on top of that, it's not something that's very desirable.
Well, of course it's not desirable.
So if you're not prepared as a person who's about to do some violence to kill everyone that's in front of you and everyone that they're related to and everyone that they've ever loaned money to or borrowed money from, talked to, breathed on, kissed, then, maybe you need to step back and say, maybe violence isn't the answer.
But how do you deal with someone who's violent then? I mean, you say these people are children, and you say the adults need to intervene.
Yeah, I didn't say the adults need to intervene. I'm saying these people, the behavior is merely behavior trying to test limits.
So you think if like the adults show up, it's going to?
I don't know why you sit there and say adults and children. These are people that are trying to test limits.
Okay. Well, I think of the analogy of adults and children.
What, adults don't try to test limits? Childish adults, yes, but don't. Well, I don't like the couching of superiority.
Oh, the child adult thing.
Yeah, because if they're my children, then I would have stopped it. They're not my children. They're probably peers, right? They have just as much rights as an adult as I do.
Mm-hmm.
So you stop it.
But how do you stop violence?
Hell, you can use old school siege.
Just wait them out.
Put them in a circle and wait them out.
Yeah.
How long do you think somebody's going to last without being able to go take a shit, drink water, have food?
Not very long.
I mean,
how long did that thing last in Seattle?
It's still kind of going, right?
No.
Okay, so
the cops went in and cleaned them out
after they started torching the mayor's neighborhood or something.
Oh, no, and people got killed.
I don't think they cared about that.
Maybe it became embarrassing for the mayor.
I thought it was because the mayor's neighborhood or their house was in danger of getting destroyed. Then it was like,
Well, that seems like a pretty likely explanation.
I know that the Occupy Wall Street thing got put to an end pretty quickly when they found out there was some rapes going on.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did I never hear that news?
It's not a good narrative. We can talk about the media next, but I've got my beef with them too. But what we're talking about now is, a lot of stuff that's going on is basically people that never had any boundaries because life's been pretty freaking easy. If you were born within the last 7 decades in the United States, you've had it pretty easy.
I'm just sick of it, and
so there are people just try to test boundaries, see how far that everybody else will let them go.
But I've noticed it in behavior as well, just in my daily life. I can spot the people a mile off.
Then don't talk to them.
Yeah. But they're like, oh, you need to serve me, or,
No, I don't.
And then they get all upset.
Too bad. You don't need to talk to them.
Just ignore them?
That's what I would do.
Okay.
That's what I have done, because there have been many points in my life. I hate to admit that I'm someone, because I'm male, I have a very high propensity for violence. And for all the females listening, this is something that you really got to understand. If you're a dude, 95% of your day isn't thinking about sex, it's thinking about pounding somebody's head in. So basically, as a male, all what you're doing 95% of the time is don't hit anybody. Don't hit anybody.
Wow,
Don't hit
I
anybody.
am a man because I do think about shit like that.
Well, yeah, and us even being old men with less testosterone than we had when we were young men, that's still a thing. So, it's a lie. Men don't think about sex all the time. Men mostly think about hurting other things, pounding things, beating things. And then the rest of the time, the other 5% would think about sex.
Yes.
So, yes, there have been many times where violence has been an option for me, and I've essentially walked away many times.
Cancel culture needs to go away.
Well, it's easy to make that go away.
Easy, but not necessarily easy.
Right. Exactly. What you need to do is easy. Doing it is the hard part.
Mm.
And, the doing it of it, the reason why it's hard is because, there's porridge and burritos on the line. I hate that word porridge. I think it's stupid. There's oatmeal and burritos on the line. So,
Porridge is way better than oatmeal.
porridge is oatmeal.
Yeah, but it's not how they make porridge. There's about maybe 5 listeners that got that reference.
I don't think anybody got that reference.
It wasn't an ad that aired here.
All right. Anything else to add about that?
No, man, it just needs to go away, like I said. And those people are stupid. Stop it.